Hi, all the signs of the zodiac. I'm Pam, the Lucky Mermaid, psychic, seer, and modern mystic, bringing you psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides for this new moon in Gemini, June 17th and 18th, 2023, psychic crystal reading for each of the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. The earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. The water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. The fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And the air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Please be sure to watch the entire video because, you know, this new moon is not just going to affect your sun sign only. So if you know your rising sign and your moon sign elements, you may really want to watch the entire video, because remember, sometimes your rising sign and your moon sign will resonate more for you than your sun sign. And if you're born on the cusp of your sign, sometimes your psychic predictions and messages are coming to you from there. So you might want to check out your cusp sign element in this video. Before I get started on the psychic crystal reading, I want to give you a little bit of information about this new moon in Gemini. And I also want to let you know, we're at the middle of the year already. Can you believe it? I mean, I don't know. To me, it feels like 2023 is really cooking along at a rapid rate. And I've also done my mid-year love and romance psychic tarot update for singles and couples for 2023 for each sign of the zodiac. That link is down below in the description box in the Show More section, and the mid-year Psychic Tarot Update link is down below in the description box. You can also get these videos on my website at theluckymermaid.com. The links are there on the videos page. So just to let you know, these are very popular series every year. The beginning of the year and the middle of the year are hot topics, so you might want to check out what's coming up for you now and through the rest of the year. So now on to the astrology information about this new moon in Gemini. This new moon in Gemini, June 2023, forms a tight square with Neptune. We may feel inclined to seek answers over the next 2 weeks. However, our views of our personal reality are going through transformation and changing at this time. This makes it difficult to travel through this unusual energy being presented by the new moon square to Neptune, as we will be prone to be deceived by other people's divisiveness and trickery. We may experience fogginess and confusion making decisions, as our well-reasoned and logical mindset will be going through odd and unconventional directions. We may be quite hazy and disconnected in our thinking and decisions, and wrestling with choices and what directions to take. We may be cautious of we must be cautious of disingenuous people who may be inclined to take advantage and deceive us now. It's best if we can put off making decisions for the next 2 weeks and maybe even up to 30 days. Our focus on spirituality and psychic perceptions can increase at this time. Now on to the psychic crystal reading for this new moon in Gemini. So now I'm starting with the element of earth. This is Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. You may feel very inclined to barring people from your life, blocking things, warding people off, pushing them away. You may feel like maybe even like you want to spend time alone, like mulling things over or pondering things and not engaging with a lot of people. Some of you could have some upsetment that goes on with a family member or in some kind of family situation. Some of you earth signs may be really prone to making extravagant purchases over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. Some of you earth signs may really be interested in looking into the legalities of things, looking over documents, reading the fine print in contracts, and maybe even consulting lawyers if you have questions. Some of you earth signs will find if you own your own business or if you are an employee, employed at something, in some job or career or business, you may get heralded as an expert. You may start to get looked at like very high up in your career or your field of endeavor or at the place where you work. Some of you earth signs may have a new romantic partner that comes into your life at this time. And that relationship could take off very, very quickly. You're going to have to judge your intuition and feelings on that. Some of you earth signs may find that you start to receive a source of income from something else, like a part-time job, a sideline gig, or something that maybe even a hobby can turn into a business. And you could start to make money coming from an outside source, or maybe you're going to do babysitting or pet sitting or house sitting, or start creating things and selling things online. You need to know one of your cautions, because you're going to get 3 cautions at the end here. You may be prone to being very fickle over the next 2 weeks. The strongest will be around the new moon and for the next 2 weeks, but even up to 30 days, you could find yourself like real fickle. Like, I like this. No, I don't like that. I like it one day. I don't like it the next. Like that kind of fickle behavior. Be very careful being around smoke, because I get smoke inhalation will be very bad for you over the next 2 weeks to 30 days. Now, I live in the United States, and we had smoke coming from Canada for like 3-4 days. That was like the worst air quality my state has ever seen. And it was really horrible to breathe. You really couldn't go outside. It could be from fires that are happening in where you live and the smoke is affecting you, but it could also be secondhand smoke. Like if you live with somebody or work with people that smoke, that could be very detrimental to you over the next 2 weeks to 30 days. It could give you laryngitis, it could give you a sore throat, it could bother your airways. Or if you smoke, maybe you need to cut down on smoking. I know people hate that. My mother was a heavy-duty smoker, and believe me, she did not like it when I told her, don't smoke, or I wanted to get away from the smoke, man. She got so mad. So don't get mad at me if you're a smoker, because I've heard it all. And some of you earth signs need to be careful because you're seeing things that are not fully clearly in reality. Like you're looking at things that you think you're perceiving reality clearly, but you're not. So be very careful what you're watching on TV, what you're watching on YouTube or on the internet, what you're watching even in person. Like you may feel so certain what you're seeing is real, but my guides are telling me one of the cautions for some of the earth signs is some things you're not seeing in reality clearly over these next 2 weeks, and maybe even up to 30 days. So I hope those messages were of help to you. Now on to the element of water, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. I see the water signs being affected by this new moon as being very practical over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days, and also being ultra careful about everything. You're going to be very practical, but very careful, very cautious and careful. I feel that some of the water signs are going to find themselves juggling a lot of tasks and responsibilities over these next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. Some of you may be involved in having to do a lot of shipping things out and mailing things. This could be returning things, or if you have a business and you have to ship things out to customers. You could be doing a lot of things with the mail. Things you get, things you receive, shipping things out. Could even be for a business or personal. You got to be careful, water signs, because you could see some people have some like really angry outbursts around you or violent behavior around you. So you may see a lot of anger flaring up. This could be at your job, or it could be in your family, or at some group or organization or club you belong to. I don't know, but I'm getting some of the water signs are going to see like people like flying off the handle, being angry. Some of you water signs are going to have valuable insights and information that's going to come to you. For many of you, it's through a friend. And it could be like very helpful advice and information that will be helpful and useful to you. Some of you water signs are going to second guess yourself about some kind of decision that you have to make, but you do make a decision, and in the long run you find out it works out in your favor. The decision you make works out for you. You make the right choice. Some of you water signs may like go through a period of time where you're in the next 2 weeks and 30 days where this new moon in Gemini is affecting you, where it's making you replay scenarios over and over in your mind. So you could be highly analytical and dissecting things really heavily at this time. Some of you could have a challenge that opens up before you from somebody else, and you get into a debate. But I feel like it's actually has a favorable outcome. The water signs need to be careful over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days of using too much salt in what you're eating, and also be cautious of drinking or eating too many acidy foods and drinks. Some of you water signs will be able to retain something that you thought you were going to lose or have to give away. It could be money, it could be stuff. For some reason you may have felt like, I don't know if it had to do with a divorce settlement, an estate, bankruptcy, or I don't know the reason, but I feel like if you thought you had to give something up or give it away, you find out it's not going to be as bad as what you thought. You may have to give something up, but it's not going to be to the extent of what you're worrying about. And be careful, water signs, if you feel really super inspired that you want to be in charge of something and be a leader or be a boss, and you're really driven about it extra strongly over these next 2 weeks especially, or the days around the new moon, you may find if you get put into this position of power or be put in charge or whatever it is, you may find out like it does not go well. So if you're like, I got to climb to the top or I got to be in charge, may not be the best thing to do over these next 2 weeks and up to 30 days, because I feel like you're going to feel like it was too much trouble or too many complaints, or I don't feel like it's going to work out the way you're thinking or hoping it's going to. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of fire. This is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Some of you fire sign people are going to find that you're going to be very inspired to speak out. You may want to protest, or you may want to, wherever you feel like there's injustices or things aren't fair, or you disagree with people, whether it's in the public or in your own personal life, you're going to be prone to want to speak up and speak out against those things strongly over the next 2 weeks especially, but up to even 30 days. Some of you fire signs are really going to be really motivated to clear things out, throw things out, clean things up, like get rid of stuff, clean out your refrigerator, clean out your closets, clean out whatever, anything and everything that could be washed, cleaned, thrown away. It's going to be really strong in you over the next 2 weeks. Some of you fire signs are going to bypass something that you don't want to have to do. And you may, and it could have some legalities you may even be skipping over. And then I also get some of you going straight to the top. So like skipping over things and going straight to the top in especially if you have to do any work, business, reports, deal with legalities, deal with local government, deal with bureaucracy and things of that nature. Some of you fire signs may put on quite a show, and you risk making a fool of yourself, but even if you do make a fool of yourself, people are going to think it's hilarious. So if you are funny, quirky, witty, goofy, silly, those things are going to be really exacerbated in the fire signs. And if you're out at gatherings or out at a club or a bar or at a party or a barbecue or even at work or even in your home and family, you're going to be highly entertaining. But you may, I kind of feel like you want to make a fool of yourself because you want to make people laugh. So just know you may be exceptionally funny and entertaining over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. I do feel that some of you fire signs are going to receive some important documents, and it could come to you in the mail. And this is going to help push and move something along that you want to see push along and move forward. So it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Some of you fire signs may receive an inheritance or some money from something like an insurance payout or a check you weren't expecting to get, a refund for something. I don't know, but I see some of you receiving money. Some of you, it could be an inheritance. Your creative spirit is going to be really high. And if you create anything, art, music, poetry, writing, whatever you're creative at, doesn't have to be those things, it could be other things. It's going to go exceptionally well for you right now. So for creative energy, for, making things that are going to be well received by the public also is very strong for the fire signs now. Be careful. One of your cautions, you get 3, is you could dig in too deep in somebody's business or in an argument, and an argument could escalate. So if you dig in too deep, like dig your heels in too deep and be too stubborn, or dig in too deep to somebody's business, or dig in too deep in a personal way when you're arguing with a significant other or somebody, it's not going to be good. So don't dig in too deep in those areas. I mean, you can, but it may not work out for you. Speculative ventures are risky right now, so be very careful unless you're completely sure of what you're doing, of like gambling and risk taking. It's too tricky and too much tricky energy right now. And if you have to hire somebody whether it's for their products, their services, or somebody to do work for you. Or if you are dating somebody new, make sure you vet these people really well, because deception is going to be at an all-time high right now, and people could lie on their resumes or lie about work they've done or lie about their credentials. So if you've got to hire somebody, maybe even it's your job to hire somebody for the company you work for. That all needs to be investigated, because there's deception going on here. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the element of air. This is Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. The air signs, I feel like you are going to feel like you're mentally going crazy. You may feel like, wah! Like, what do I do? What do I do about this? Or what do I do about that? Or you could just feel like the energy is making you like, you know, scattered, really scattered. Some of you air sign people may feel like this new moon energy is like inspiring you or motivating you to part ways with somebody. Now, it doesn't mean it's a love relationship. It could be, or a friendship. It could be, or a family member. It could be, but it could also be parting ways with somebody you used to do your yard work, somebody that used to cut your hair, somebody that, you know, used to do some other service for you. You may part ways with somebody over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days, but especially the next 2 weeks. Some of the other air signs are going to act out very impulsively. You may make impulsive decisions, and like, watch out when you're driving. Don't like let road rage get in the best of you, or don't think you can cut somebody off. Like, no impulsive actions. It's not going to go good. So I feel like that's what you're going to be impulsive, but I'm throwing it in as a warning to try not to be. Man, you're going to think, and you might be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. But you're going to think you are seeing people as they truly are. I actually feel like you are going to. So if you ever had any questions about anybody, like what they were really all about, during the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days, it's going to be crystal clear to you. Like what somebody's agendas are, what they're all about. Like, I feel like you're going to be reading people like a book. Some of you air signs will have very, very monumental success if there's some kind of product, service, or work or business that you're doing, or a creative endeavor that you're doing. Whatever you're promoting, it's going to go really well for you. That's one of your blessings from this new moon. Some of you could find that you're engaging in a romantic liaison with somebody. That's how my guides put it. So I'm repeating it in their words. So this could be not necessarily love. It could just be sex, a hookup. It could be that. But for some of you, it could be more than that, or turn into more than that. Some of you air signs are going to be fortunate and find something that works really well for calming your nerves. It could be a naturopathic remedy like some kind of herb or aromatherapy or some kind of incense or something you could drink. It could be a medication, but I don't know what it is, but something. I feel like you'll have success in finding something that's good for bringing you peace and calming your nerves. Some of you air signs, this is coming up as one of your cautions. You could find yourself being very secretive at this time, which I'm not really sure why that's a caution. But I also hear that you could be the recipient of somebody else's secrets telling you now, and then you're going to have to decide what you do with them. Are you going to sit on this secret, or is it a secret you feel like it's too important for whatever reason, to share. So secrets, you keeping secrets and secrets being revealed to you, and then what you do with them is one of your cautions. It came up as a caution. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Your other caution is you could be very gullible right now, air signs. And you may find yourself believing in something that's false. And it may be kind of obvious, but for maybe to some other people or other signs, it may be obvious. But to the air signs, some of the air signs are going to be believing things that maybe they shouldn't. You don't be cautious of being gullible. Be careful of what you eat, because I get that some of you air signs, you maybe could get food poisoning or have a weird reaction to food or something you eat. It could be an allergy, or it's just food that's not cooked properly, or if it's a food you've never had before, or if you're on the fence about some kind of food, you might want to avoid it, because I get you getting sick to your stomach for some of you. So be very mindful and aware of what you are eating over the next 2 weeks and up to 30 days. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. And please like this video if you liked it, and share it with others if you believe it's worth sharing. And subscribe to this channel, because it does really help me a lot, and it does help this channel to grow. If you would like to get any of the special video series I record for my Vimeo on-demand videos, where I look at very specific topics using a variety of divination tools, those links for the most recently recorded video series are posted down below underneath this video in the description box in the Show More section. And these links are also available on my website at theluckymermaid.com videos page. You can scroll all the video series I've recorded there. You select whatever one is interesting to you. You can see how long the predictions go out for, what divination tools I've used, and then you just click on whatever zodiac sign you want under the heading of the video series you want, and that link will take you to that video on Vimeo. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, we're in the middle of the year of 2023 already, and this is the time of the year that I do my mid-year updates. And they're almost as popular as the videos I post at the beginning of the year for the new year. So if you want to see what's going on for you now and the second half of this year, I highly recommend you get my mid-year Psychic Tarot update for 2023 for each sign of the zodiac. That link is down below and on my website. Also, my mid-year Love and Romance Psychic Tarot update for 2023 for singles and couples are available. The first half of the readings for singles, the second half of the reading is for couples, and then one oracle card for both is at the end of the reading. I highly recommend you watch the entire reading, because there will be crossovers. Some of the messages for the singles may apply to the couples, and some of the messages for the couples may apply to the single people. Also, don't forget my psychic crystal readings for the month of June 2023. These are a continuation of the psychic tarot readings that I do at the beginning of the month on YouTube. I continue on after that recording and then look into the crystal. And I look at every area of life I can think of to look at in the crystal and give you messages and predictions from my spirit guides for each sign of the zodiac for whatever month we're on. So if you want your June psychic crystal readings, that link is down below and on my website. Don't forget the eclipse effects from the new moon solar eclipse in Aries, April 2023, psychic tarot, crystal, and oracle card readings. You're still being affected by that eclipse. April, May, June, July, August, September. Until the end of September, you're probably being affected by that eclipse. So if you haven't checked out the effects of the eclipse effects for the Aries eclipse, you might want to check that out. And also, don't forget my full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio, May 2023, psychic tarot, crystal, and oracle card readings for each sign of the zodiac. Again, you're still being affected by that eclipse. And those predictions probably go out to the end of October of 2023. And I recommend in most of my video series, but especially the eclipse series, to watch both your rising sign and your sun sign if you know your rising sign. Because some months and sometimes, just like it happens here on YouTube, it happens there on Vimeo too, sometimes your rising sign is going to make more sense to you than your sun sign, or vice versa. And a good gauge is to go by what makes sense to you on my YouTube videos. Also, don't forget my career and finance psychic tarot readings for 2023. I recorded them in April, and those predictions go for 12 to 18 months. So they go all the way out from April of 2023 until October of 2024. So you got a long time of those career and finance predictions to make sense for you. And don't forget my What's Lucky and New for You in 2023. We're only halfway through 2023. If you haven't looked at those yet, you might want to do so. I thought they were very lucky this year. Most of the signs. There was a couple signs I thought, well, you know, sometimes when stuff comes up as lucky and it doesn't sound lucky, it's actually lucky later for the way things play out. But I did feel for most of the signs in that video series, the lucky factor seemed more obvious than it does some other years. So there's other video series linked down below. I'm not going to name all of them. Those were the most recently recorded ones. If you would like to get more psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides channeled through me that you're not going to see here on a video format on YouTube, you can follow me on my social media pages at the Lucky Mermaid LLC on Facebook and the Lucky Mermaid _ Pam Georgel on Instagram. And I also post these now on my YouTube community page because some people have decided to step away from the other social media platforms. So I've been putting them on the YouTube community pages, and a lot of people have been happy that I've been putting them there. I write 5 paragraphs of predictions and messages. Many people find they resonate with them, or parts of what I'm writing resonate with them, and you may find that as well. So I really would love to see you over there on my social media pages. And if you would like to help support this channel and the readings I do here on YouTube, there's a donation link down below underneath all the video series. It's connected to PayPal. Thank you so much to those of you who have been very kind and generous and donated to my channel. It does help me a lot, and it does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much for that. So I hope you have absolutely amazing energy that comes to you from this new moon in Gemini, June 2023. And know that I wish you many blessings and peace.